What's your first and last name?
Margaret Mallott.
How do you spell the last name?
Mellott.
Good thing I don't want to screw that up. So, you're a managing editor for the Campus Ledger.
Yeah.
Would you consider yourself more of an artist or a journalist?
Definitely more of a journalist. This is gonna sound kind of weird. I like being in higher up positions because I like the organizational thing, and I want to be a teacher one day.
Oh yeah, really?
So I like being the person that people come to, like, hey, I have a problem, like I like not necessarily being on the front lines, but rather
Like support, kind of?
yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Let's see here. What inspired you to become, at least kind of go down the line of being a journalist?
My freshman year of high school, I was a very quiet, very shy, did not talk, didn't really get good grades either kind of person. And that still can be true about the grades, but I was a very like quiet, shy person, and my one of my teachers, I took reporting and a photography class both in my freshman year of high school, and I was like, I want to get involved, but I don't really know how, so I thought journalism would be the answer. And from there, my sophomore year of high school, I was like this scared, tiny journalist trying to like interview people.
Yeah.
And sophomore year was honestly a blur. I don't really remember it.
Kind of the same thing.
Not because anything like bad happened. It was a while ago, and it just felt like it was all like either class or newspaper stuff. It's not like I was a standout journalist. But I did my job and I got everything done. And then my junior year of high school, I was the features and A&E editor with, I was a co-features A&E editor, but the person I was co-paired with, I guess you could say for that, she was a sweetheart. I love her so much. I still talk to her.
Really?
But she really pushed me to do more editing, because features editor, at least at my high school, was kind of like... that's like the big section, like that took up the majority of the paper. So I had to go through and edit, the main cover story, and all the profiles or, whatever we were doing. So I edited the majority of the paper, and, still not a great journalist, but I was on my way.
But you had someone there to kind of coach you a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe. What was her name?
Claire Biles. Biles, in case you're wondering.
So you stayed as a journalist for the high school, probably all through high school?
I did it, I was on the newspaper for 3 years, but I've been doing journalism, I consider it 4 years.
4 years, yeah.
Because it makes me sound more impressive, which is terrible, but and then my senior year of high school, it was... The majority of our staff my junior year was seniors, and so we had to go in, me and my two co-editor-in-chiefs, we had to go in and train over half the staff. And this is going to sound really cocky and terrible, but in talking with my advisor after like graduation and stuff, she was like, Margaret, you were the person I knew. You really, came into your own as a leader in second semester of your junior year, and I knew I wanted you to be EIC. And it was just how the other two people paired with you and whether you worked well with them. And it's not necessarily because I am a standout journalist, and it's mostly because I think people, this is going to sound bad, I think people want to follow me, if that makes sense. And I don't mean that in like a weird way. I mean that in like
the confidence, maybe?
Yeah, I can be like a mother sometimes, and I think that makes people feel safe. And like everything's going to be okay, which is I think why people are okay with me being in leadership positions. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted.
No, you're not. It's totally fine.
Yeah, so senior year, we had to go back and train half the staff, and one of the big things that we struggled with is I was the design editor, but the past 2 years, my sophomore and junior year, I think I designed maybe 2 pages. So I had to go back, and I had to figure out everything on my own, and I had to figure it out as I was teaching people how to do it.
Wow.
And it was extremely stressful, but a lot of good came out of it. And by the end of the year, I consider this a success as someone who's going to be a teacher one day.
Yeah.
A lot of the people were out designing me, which is phenomenal. Like, that was the goal from the beginning. Like, I know I'm not the world's greatest designer, but if I can give people the tools and the resources that they need to outgrow and become who they are as a designer.
Maybe.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Yeah, 5 minutes.
So, describe the process of coming into the Campus Ledger and then becoming managing editor.
Starting at JUCO, I knew immediately. I sent Corbin like too many emails over the summer. I was like too excited about it. I was like, I'm so ready. And then I was originally a staff photojournalist, which I love taking pictures. It's not my favorite thing, but I'm okay at it. And I get my work done, and I do an okay job. But I really questioned there at the beginning, like, whether I wanted to continue with journalism, just because the process was like so vastly different. And I know that sounds bad, and it was a moment of weakness, but after writing that first sports story, keep in mind when I wrote that first story, it had been a good 2 years since I'd written a journalistic story. And I spent too much time on it. I was like so worried that they were going to come back and be like, Margaret, this is terrible. But they didn't. And Corbin was like, hey, this is really good. You followed all the rules, and this is a good article. And then I became sports editor like a week later, and I was like, okay, yeah. Wow. And I love sports. I was a basketball manager in high school for 3 years. I mean, I'm not necessarily the most sports-minded person, but it's something I enjoy thoroughly. And then at the end of last semester, Corbin and Nell had talked to me about becoming managing editor after Joe left, and I was simultaneously like sad and like excited because like I miss Joe. Like, he was a phenomenal person, and he's wonderful. Another one of those people that like you would be willing to follow, like, I don't know, into battle.
Into the moment of war.
Yeah. But just one of those people that is confident and has faith that everything is going to be okay. And I'm very...
Sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah. Oh, I know. And that was wonderful. And I definitely look up to him in that way. And same way with Nell. But anyways, yeah, managing editor was phenomenal. It's not necessarily that I wasn't expecting it, because I was in a way, because Corbin was like too thrilled about it and talked to me about it like, I don't know, 2 months before the semester ended. I was like, Corbin. But no, yeah, I'm glad I'm here. I love being a manager because I like, seeing other people succeed. And I know that sounds weird, but it's like when I'm one of the people behind the scenes, helping them, teaching them, showing them. Yeah.
Hey, I not necessarily that you did that, but like,
I take pride in it. Yeah. Because I helped them along the way, and that's super important to me as a person. So.
All right. Anything else you'd like to add?
Connor rocks. Yeah.
Fisher likes, comment, and subscribe.